Hello. It is in fact Wednesday once again. We are back with web fishing. Now you may wonder where this location is. We will find out right now. It's actually in Qingdao, China. A very nice looking place. Anyway, it is web fishing Wednesday once again. We will in fact be playing web fishing just in time for the Steam Fishing Fest. Alright, we got web fishing. Oh, there's a new balloons patch. Balloons? Anyway, let me greet people. It is that time to greet people. Welcome Stream Elements, welcome Defins, welcome Last Abaka, welcome A. Pullen and Zully and Stanley. And Defins, thank you for the 35 months. Wow. So many months. And also Ringos. Do you have an affinity for skyscraper heavy skylines? I don't really have a preference. I guess, I don't know. I mean, it does look kind of nice though. Right? Doesn't this look kind of nice? The framing. I mean, I feel like it'd be better if they didn't have like this stuff, so we could see like the actual, like everything else. But, you know, of this stuff, this looks nice. Anyway, web fishing. Create game. Unlisted request to join manual. Noun. The pointed, what would that say? You're describing what the word meant. Okay, show lobby code. C, is that an I or a 1? That's like an L. Or is that, that's probably an I. I haven't read or written German in so long, all the uppercase letters look wrong. Yeah, they use a lot of uppercase. Isn't it like every noun is uppercase or something? Something like that, I don't actually know. But it is something that I have observed in when I see German written. There are a lot of uppercase letters. It's true, it's real. It does in fact happen. Anyway, yeah, Wednesday. I don't really know. Don't really know what to do anymore. Back in the day, you know, we would do fishing. And now we are fishing once again. Most nouns, are there nouns that are not uppercase? There's like most of them, but which ones are not? What is the criteria for uppercase letters? I don't know. I don't actually know like German, you know, like in general. I'm aware of some words, but not really. Was that an axolotl? What the? That was, in fact, an axolotl. Somewhere, it is somewhere in my inventory, right there. Whoa, look at that. That's crazy. How did they get that in this pond? Where do axolotls even live? Like, for real, though. Just in like regular ponds. I've never seen one. I guess I also don't really like look in the ponds. Any progress on the game? Are you talking about the game that I'm about to finish or the game that I started working on Monday? It's the game that I've worked on, that I've been working on, the platformer with the climbing. That is almost done. I think it is like almost ready to release. I have figured out GitHub Actions. I was able to get it to build on a device that was not mine. And actually, so the issue that I was having that I described on Monday was that because my plugin, sorry, the game uses a sprite plugin so that I don't have to export sprite sheets. But exporting that requires a sprite to be installed on your local system when you run it. and which is fine for me because I have it. But then when I try to build it on GitHub Actions, obviously it doesn't have access to it. And also Aseprite is, well, you can pay for it or you can build it from source for free. But they don't allow you to redistribute the compiled program. And so when you're trying to build this on GitHub Actions, you have to either build it from scratch, which takes like 20 minutes possibly every single time you want to rebuild it. And then if you're like building other stuff, it takes longer. It could look into like caching the results such that you build it once and then it's available. It is in fact possible. All of the built-in GitHub Actions that I've looked at are very old. They have not been updated to the latest version of Aseprite. That, or they don't allow you to pin a version, so maybe the next time you run it, it'll use a newer version that's not compatible or whatever. Sorry, this is probably not that interesting, but it is interesting to me. And I was like, okay, I could figure out how to compile it. I could write my own GitHub action to compile it. Welcome, Roho Mild. But then I found out that actually it's available on Nix. That's right, Nix packages. They do have Aseprite available. They obviously they don't store the pre-compiled binary because that is it's not allowed. So when you try to build it with Nix, it actually it builds it from scratch. You can always check out a specific hash. Okay, I know that, but I'm saying that the I would have to the GitHub action is not written in such a way that makes it easy to do that. I could always fork it, but I found out that it's available on Nix, and so I'm aware there's a thing called Cachix, which you can use in GitHub Actions, where you build a thing in Nix once, you push it to your Cachix cache, and you can just use it. And so that's what I did. I just built Aseprite in CI, and by build I just mean I just did nix install Aseprite. It takes like 20 minutes the first time. But then once you have the step that's writing it to the cache, the next time you run it, it pulls it and it's available immediately. So that was nice. It was actually like 2 lines. It was so easy. There's like a install nix action that's available, and just ran that one. And then there's also a an action. There's like a command line tool called Butler, which allows you to import itch.io games from the command line. And so you don't have to like go to the UI and like click on it and like manually upload your files. You just run a command and it will push the files for you. So I have the CI set up so that I can just click a button, create a new release, and then it triggers a build for web and triggers a build for desktop Windows. I mean, I could set up Linux if I wanted to, but why would I? You can play it on web, or Proton compatibility or whatever. I don't want to add another step, especially because there's like 2 Linux players out there. Containerized, it is containerized. You're saying things that I know. It sounds like I'm very annoyed with you, but I'm not. I just have considered this. It is actually, there's a Godot CI, which is what I'm using. It is a Docker image that has this stuff. It doesn't have Nix installed on it, so that's why you need the install Nix action. Now I could just build my own. I could just fork this and update this stuff, but I don't feel like it because then I would have to maintain my own. So I'm just using this one, and it's there. Anyway, dropping by before falling asleep. You can fall asleep to me talking about whatever the heck it is I'm talking about. Release processes for games. Anyway, this thing does have Butler installed. It's built in, but there's also a GitHub action to run it. That's what I was running before I realized it was built into this. But anyway, it is possible now. So all I have to do, click a button, it'll trigger it, it'll release it. It'll also tag the correct version on itch.io. It's available. So what I've been working on in the past few days is that, and I've also, well, that's a big shark. I've also made it so that there's multiple save files. So originally I had one save file that was available, but then I was like, what if people want to like replay the game, but they don't want to delete their existing save file, right? They would either need to like manually back up the save file, you know, they'd need to find it, the directory, copy the save file, and then when they want to restore it, they have to whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna write it such that you can have multiple. There are 3 save files. That's an arbitrary number, mostly because most games tend to like have 3 save files. But I have that supported now. So now you can create and delete save files. It may be like, Wolfie, why don't you just show us? You literally have the project available. No, because it's spoilers. You gotta wait until the game is actually out. And then it's out, you play it, you're like, whoa, it's got save files? I have not implemented controller key remapping or whatever, because that's going to take some effort, and also I'd have to change all the UI to be like, oh, instead of pressing X or Z, you gotta like dynamically determine what button, or I could just say press the jump button, which I did, but then some places are a bit more specific. And then I need to like, you know, either use graphics for the buttons or whatever. I don't know. Welcome Inflow. Anyway, it's there. It's mostly done. And now there's like a bunch of stuff that I have to do for like itch.io promotional things. You know how like when you go on itch.io and you go to like a page that has a game, there's like stuff you can add, you know, screenshots, gameplay. You look at this one, you know, there's like a header image, there's like screenshots, like a video, description, a bunch of other stuff, like a color scheme. I still have to add that stuff. I added a logo. I've added the image, this image here that shows up. And then, you know, now I just have to like record a video or something. I don't have to, but I feel like it would be useful. And then have some screenshots of gameplay, maybe like go around to different areas and be like, look, here's the snow area, here's the grass area, here's the cave area. Remember when YouTube used to look like this? Yes. Remember when you could have a Neopets shop page? You could customize the HTML. Anyway, yes, I'm almost done. I would imagine probably by end of week it will be done. Most likely. I still have some things on my to-do list, such as like minor improvements. I'm checking the audio levels, because you know, when I play games, I feel like my audio levels are usually strange. They're like not usually what the normal person would have. My music volume's like down low. I need to check that the default audio options make sense. I heard someone a long time ago say that remapping is easiest when you program it to be jump button to jump and define jump button somewhere else. Program it to be jump button to jump. And define jump button somewhere else. Yes, that is how it's done in Godot. In Godot, you define an action rather than the actual button. So you can say jump button. I mean, it's still like stuff that I would need to change, but I would prefer not to. But I did consider, you know, people said on certain keyboards, the letter Z is not, you know, next to the shift key, so it might not be the most convenient, so instead J is there. Also, welcome Slime Molder. I learned that Godot by default uses physical key locations. So when I say use the Z key, they don't mean like the literal Z key. It's like whatever it is on the American keyboard layout. It's whatever's next to shift. But I also set it so that J would work. If for whatever reason you want to jump with the J key in its position on the American US keyboard style, that would also work. But yes, it cannot be rebinded. There's also space, you know, common key for jumping, space. We also support controller, the bottom button on controller, whichever that is on whatever it's called. On PlayStation, it would be the X button. That is the jump button. You may be like, what if you want it to be on the circle button? No, it's not supported. I mean, I guess I could do it, but circle at the moment is the cancel button, and maybe it's confusing. I don't know. I could consider doing it. Anyway, it's just like a short, less than 1 hour game. It's not like it's going to be super necessary for people to adjust their controls. That's what I'm thinking anyway. But then when I start the game, maybe, you know, people will be like, oh, you can't believe they don't have controller rebindings. Don't they know that I actually like using the select key to jump? Wow. Doesn't he know that actually R2 is the most convenient jump button ergonomically? It's a platformer, so you should just have it. Have what? Rebindable buttons? Or circle to jump? Remappable, but I don't want to. It would add like another like few days of effort. Most of my issue is then that I would need to like update the instructions to be dynamic. And you're like, Wolfie, it's not that hard. It's not hard, it's just it requires time. I probably use it for, yes, I am aware of that. But I will not do it for this one. But you may be like, but why? It's so easy. This is why the games industry is dead. People refuse to have simple things such as... But then if you look at like the games that I play on itch.io, very few of them have rebindable keys. Okay, like none of these, very few of them, or if they do, I just use the defaults. Because they're good enough for me. It's not like people are going to be playing this for like hours. It's going to be like, oh, this game looks cool. And then they check it out and it's like, okay, I'm done. Except for like the 1 or 2 people that have devoted to speedrunning it. That they've confirmed that they're going to speedrun the game. So those people, maybe. But that will be post-release. It will not be in the initial release. Best practice, so are the few features. Exactly. It's too much scope creep. It's like my first game. Okay? Imagine like, oh, maybe I should also add like a dynamic sound panning or whatever, so that it, you know, based on where it had your progress, it plays different instruments. Oh, maybe I should have blah blah blah. You know, it's too much. Do it for the next one and then backport, maybe. But I feel like the way that I did UI in my game is like really bad. It's actually really hacky. I have like, when I have like multiple menus you can go through, I just have it so that it hides one menu and then it shows the other one. The other one is technically still there. I don't know how people normally do it, but they probably have like a stack of menus or something, and then you push the latest thing to the stack. Like look at this menu, right? You have this menu, and then you click on something, right? You click on settings. It hides this one, and then it opens a new one. But then the question is, did it just hide it, or is it just like, is it creating a new instance of this thing entirely? Because like if I scroll down, does it save my it does save progress, so it is simply hiding it. They exist in the same scene. It's just either they're hiding it or they're storing the progress, which I doubt they would be doing because there's no reason to do that, so they're probably just hiding it. And then they have events. But then you got to make sure that when you show like another thing, it, you know, it hides the other stuff. And I'm like doing that manually. There's probably a better system to do that with. I get upset about games not having dash, remappable dash when I play games with controllers. There's no dashing. There's not even dashing. Like Celeste, they do have dashing. Ray tracing, no. It's okay to make a small project proof of concept barely functioning. It's so functioning though. It's just the keybinds are not there. And that's fine. I think I will add circle as a jump button though, even though it is also a cancel button. Now when I was thinking about it, I was like, do games tend to use the bottom action for jumping or the right action for jumping? And like for me, it was mostly because I was thinking of like old Nintendo games. Like in old Mario games, you would use the A button to jump, and A button is like the button on the right side. And like B is usually to run. But then I feel like in more recent games, a lot of games just use the bottom action button to jump. Like I'm pretty sure like Mario, like the 3D Mario games nowadays have the bottom button to jump. Is that true? I feel like it's true. They might support both, but I think it's pretty common. Wait, also, yeah, in Mario Sunshine, the A button was the big green one, and that one was to jump. Wait, but that's different though, because B is down there. Okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying various things. That's life. Did you ever consider that that is life? Anyway, that is the status of my game. Look forward to it being out eventually. Not having remappable controls for game is pretty much barely functioning. It's like making a bench and not standing it. You can sit on it, but people get splinters. I don't think it's that big a deal. For it, look at the games that I have played. Okay, how many of these have rebindable buttons? I feel like not that many. Now, for the people that do care about it, it's like a big deal to them. They're like, you have to. Imagine not having rebindable buttons, unplayable. Like, okay, what about this game? Did this game have rebindable? I think it did, actually. I'm pretty sure, I think when I played this one, it did have a control menu. Because I don't want to do it. That is true. But like whenever I've played these games, I've never been like, I wish I could rebind the buttons. I just deal with what's given to me. At least once you do it, yes. But I will not do it for this one. Unless I go back to it later. If there's like people that are like, you have to have it. Literally unplayable. But that's fine. Why is this not loading? This game used to load. I've definitely played this before. Okay, so like this one though, WASD. Like if I go to the settings, they do have it. I'm pretty sure they do have it. Yeah, they do have it. Okay, but I didn't even notice because I had no interest. See, this is the thing though, is that I would need to either use predefined assets for the buttons, or I would need to draw my own. And that would increase the size of the game by several megabytes or kilobytes even. Can you believe that? Several kilobytes for images? That's crazy. I can't possibly support that. And then, okay, this one though, this one, it's fine because it's just letters. Good dino. What is that? You could change the buttons. And then it's like, okay, but then do you, hold on. Someone's messaged me on Slack. Ignore this until Friday. But then if I, okay, I'm gonna click on this. And then I will click on remind me on Friday because I do not have work tomorrow. Remind me on Friday at 10:05 a.m. Set reminder. Okay, I've done it. I deal with what I'm given, but I will be spitting and complaining. Well, the game is, you know, it's the way it is. That's life. Sometimes you have to accept that life is, in some ways, the way that it is. Wolfie will refuse Hour of Principle even if this is goading. Or out of principle. Yes. It's just like, I could release the game or I could wait a few days. And like, why would I delay the game? It's already been in progress for like 3.5 months. It's okay to make something, but it is functioning though. It is so functioning. Okay, hold on. Can we search on forums? Is controller rebinding essential for video games, for indie video games? You're gonna find a lot of people that are gonna say yes, but also people that say no. And they're like, it wasn't a priority. And then you're gonna have people in the comments be like, you have to have it. Yeah, this one. This happened to me. Don't think that QWERTY is the only keyboard layout. True. Dvorak. If your game is playable on keyboard, keyboard binding is a good idea. Keyboard has lots of keys. They have different ideas on what layouts are right. Yeah, but like Z and space, those are the common ones. Like, who's gonna, when you play a platformer on your keyboard, what key would you expect jump to be on? For me, it's either Z or space. Now, maybe there's someone who thinks shift. Maybe someone thinks alt, control for some reason. Z or X, exactly. Z, I would go with Z. Z or space. I think X or C, what the heck? You use the letter X or C. Which games have that as support? I wouldn't play a platform with keyboard. That is also true. But if you're playing on controller, would it be the bottom action button or the right action button? Or some other strange one? Maybe R1. No one would use R1 to jump. Anyway, some developers don't think about the necessity of it. Others do based on skill, time, or the way they coded the game but never got around to supporting it. It's an accessibility issue. Not everyone has QWERTY. Not every controller has the same button number at the same place. I'm going to have choice of control, not only PlayStation or Xbox. I'd say bottom action button. Yeah, mine has it on the bottom action button, but I could also support both. Any feature takes time with limited, yeah, exactly. Hey, this is my mindset. You should have customizable. It's a good idea. It's accessibility. Don't needlessly change the control scheme. Things map to ZX, but I do think XC. Then what is the Z button for then? That's where your index ends up? Hold on. I don't use my index button to press Z though. When I'm jumping, it's like my ring finger. I see. I don't know. I will think about it. Depends how I'm feeling. This isn't a user survey? Exactly. It's for game developers. Game developers are like, this is essential. Rebinding controls. It's also like have to make a menu for it to like persist the settings to make sure that, you know, we got the images showing, and if I'm missing an image then it's like, oh man. QWERTY. Yeah, but as I mentioned, Godot uses the physical button layout. So it's not like the actual letter. Do you know this? In games, especially in Godot, they have like physical button. So like you can say like the Z button, parentheses physical, or Z like logical. I don't know if it's logical. But like it's like it depends on the type of game. If you're making a game where like the actual letter matters, like if you're typing words, then you don't use the physical layout. You use the logical one because the letter has significance. And then if you say physical, it's just like it's the key that is next to shift or whatever. That's life. That's literally life. Also, I didn't notice that Tag Barrel was trying to join because I don't think he said anything in chat. He just joined the lobby without saying a word, and I didn't even notice. But yeah, that's games. That is in fact game development. Things you have to consider. It's like with any craft, you start with something bad and then you get better. You start adding basic refining things. To the process, rebinding controls are essential when a game goes beyond functioning. Well, I feel like that's an exaggeration, but I can see what you mean, yes. Everyone's gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be like, freaking didn't even add key bindings. Man. Wait, didn't I accept your attempt to join? Game crashed, what the? Famous crash outs of all time. Web phishing. Remember that time when web phishing had a lot of hackers and they would crash your game? They would log into your game lobby even though it's private. And then they would spam everyone. They'd be like, your nearest airport is this one. You live near this place based on your IP address. They're called key bindings because they're key to games. No, it's because they're like the key board. It's because the board is key. And why are they so bored? Why would they not be entertained? I created a game. Why would they be bored of the keys? I would hope that the game would actually be fun. I don't know. But yeah, I have many things are done. We have ending cutscene as well, an optional cutscene for when you collect all the optional objectives. We have credits that scroll. We have music. I did decide on music. There is a song that I've chosen that is very catchy. This song is one of them. Oh, come on. How do I search? It's Dova syndrome. There's no... What the... Dova syndrome? Bro, it's literally there. Why did it not show up? Is DuckDuckGo broken? I literally type this thing. It does not show up. And then I add a more specific query and it does show up. With multiple results even. Strange. Your nearest airport reminds me of this random attack against Cloudflare data centers. Can you explain it so that I don't have to click your gist link? Anyway, this song is so catchy. This is the title screen music. It's actually so good. It sounds so good. You got like a cat in here. Doesn't it have such a fun vibe? It's been stuck in my head because I've been debugging the title screen so much. It's so catchy. Pecco vibe. I think a whole live VTuber probably used this on one of their streams. Because I think when I go to the YouTube page, it does say something like, hey, such and such sent me here. But I found it on my own. Kanata brought me here. Okay, that's apparently who used it. When the zombies are too spooky 3 years ago. What did they mean by this? But anyway, it's a good song. Good song. I'm sure maybe if someone who's a whole life fan plays this and they'll be like, what the? He chose this song from blah blah blah's screen. Can't believe it. Starting screen song, a break song. Yeah, this is the title screen song. Actually, let me just play you all the music from my game. So that's the title screen song. Actually, is this spoilers? You're like, oh, I wanted to listen to the music on my own. We have, let's see, the next song. DuckDuckGo search function sucks. I feel like it's okay most of the time. Except this time. This time it was bad. Anyway. The next song is a song known as Greenfield. I think Greenfield is the song that I use for the grass area. Greenfield. This one. There's some chill music for the grass area of the game. Yeah, when you're in a green field. This song is pretty nice. It's chill. Welcome, Matthias. I feel like every once in a while I see one of your messages in Northern Lions chat. I think today I saw one of yours. It was a +2. I was there. Anyway, this is a song for the grass area. The next song, okay, the cave area. Cave area, evening forest. Now I know you're like, this is forest music. Why did you use this for a cave? It sounds exactly like a cave theme. It's there. We have cave music. And then we have a song for Snow Glass. You'll never guess where this one is. It is in the snow area. Right? This sounds so cave-like. It's like the reverb, I think. Snow Glass. This song is nice. It's got like a little bit of like perilous, some danger, you know? Because the snow area has a lot of spikes. And this one is quite good. And then we have a song. Oh, I also have an intro cutscene. That intro cutscene, the song is, what's it called? What did I call it? It's called, is it Best Friends Forever? It's got like a dog on it. Yeah, I think it's this one. Just a chill intro cutscene where they described it. Oh, also my game has those sound effects. You know, like when characters talk in games, and it's like blah, 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 blah. I composed some sounds in Pico 8, and then every like 2 characters, it plays a sound, but it's like randomly pitch shifted. Is there a best friend in the game? No, but I didn't choose it based on the title. I just chose it because it sounded nice. Cloudflare caches things. You send an image to someone. The image from Cloudflare gets cached. You query all the data centers. You find the closest data center to the person. Send an image to someone. They receive the image and pull it from Cloudflare. It gets cached. You query all. Oh, I see. So you like see where the cache hit, and the cache is populated. I see. Interesting. Okay, so this one, Best Friends Forever, that is the intro cutscene. We have another song, which is specifically, this is for the ending of the game. This is once you reach the top of the mountain. The song is called A Place to Rest One's Wings. I thought this one was really nice. It actually sounds so chill. It's actually not there. A place to rest. Okay, what if I just search wings? Maybe the apostrophe is messing it up. This is such a nice song. Isn't this so nice? Really makes you feel like you're at the top of a long mountain climb. You're out there like, wow, I finally did it. Whoa, the view is so nice. Look at that. You can see buildings out in the distance. You know, the city is right there. It's good. Good song. A lot of good songs. Anyway, that was, that is all the music in the game. Now, there are some songs that I did not go with, but if I had more room, there were some that maybe would have been nice. There's one called, let's see, Happy Corgi. This one is quite nice. It's by the same composer that did the intro song. I could consider this one also being like an intro, like title screen song. It's got good times. Everyone's having fun. This corgi is so happy. Welcome, Happy Hollow. And then also when I was looking for music, do you remember Demon Crawl? The Minesweeper game that I played a while back? Remember the music in this game was all like really good? And then we were like, actually all the music here is like royalty-free music. So I looked up where they got their music from. Because, you know, there's a lot of good songs here. And this led me down a bunch of other websites that are nice. Peritune has a lot of good songs. And I think I actually found one of the songs that Karagi uses on her streams. Anyway, it's got a lot of songs here. A lot of them are quite nice. Anyway, the song that I think I saw that Karagi uses is called Guitar_Gentle. I know Hamflow is aware of Karagi's stream, so maybe you recognize this one. Wait, is it Karagi? No, it might have been another streamer. No, oh no, that was wrong. It's not Karagi. This is what is this one? This is a person, the small apartment guy from Japan. Small apartment life Japan YouTube. I was mistaken. It's this guy. This guy uses this song. I just remember. Yes, this guy. I remember. He uses this song all the time. But I found it accidentally. It is in fact on this website for royalty-free music. It is quite nice. I could have also considered using this one. I think I kind of prioritize songs that were shorter though. Because I have a strange desire to reduce the size of the game so that I choose shorter songs so that the MP3s are not that long or large. I've stumbled over Peritune before. Yeah, there's a lot of good songs on there. And then, you know, they got other musicians that make royalty-free music. Karagi does... Okay, so it is Karagi then. Yes, okay, so both of them use this. I was not mistaken. I was like, I'm pretty sure Karagi uses this one. I have this bookmark for some reason, audiostock.jp/artists. $178. That's Peritune. Yeah, they have a lot of good songs. If you're ever looking for good royalty-free music, Peritune is there, Doba Syndrome is there, Aaron Krog is there. He made a lot of songs on SoundCloud. 13 years, what the frick? 13 years ago? 13 years ago? A lot of songs out here. And there's also like another website. Let's see. Karagi is probably not very musical, but very light electric guitar. What do you mean by not very musical? She literally plays the guitar though. Remember when she used to play Watame Lullaby? What do you mean she's not musical? She literally plays the guitar. There's also other songs. Good songs out here. Sea Breeze. Ooh. This one's nice. It doesn't really fit my game though, but you know, for a different game, maybe this would be a good fit. Whoa. I feel like this is something you might hear like in an MMO. Some area in like a Korean MMO game would have this song. Got different instruments even. It's probably really loud. I will assume that relative to my other audio, this is quite loud. But it is still in the green range, so maybe it's totally fine. Yeah, starting area. Oh, what the? Wow. Good music. Anyway, so these are, I'm not using these for my game, but maybe for the next game I make, or some other future game, some of these songs could fit. I could even listen to these on my stream, you know, because I've been running out of songs to listen to. Since I always just listen to the same, like, stream beats lo-fi, I could maybe just download a bunch of these. although they're not all like stream relevant. Like some of them are like, oh, here's like a dark dungeon. Here's like a freaking like an epic battle. Not all of those fit, you know, but I'm sure I could find a good amount of them that do fit. That would be quite nice. I'm not streaming out of a dark dungeon. No, not at all. Are you? Is anyone here streaming from a dark dungeon? Epic battle? Yeah, I mean, it is fun, you know, just to listen to new music. Because, like, we've been listening to the same, like, Stream Beats Lo-Fi, like, forever. It just goes on for way too long. But yeah, good song. What if we just went through the entire Paratoon soundtrack this stream? Yeah, it may not fit with the vibe of this stream, but you know, they do have on Spotify. They do have things on SoundCloud. What if we just did this on this stream? Paratoon. 500 tracks. Let's go. Do I just play from this one? Do I play from these ones? What are these? Anime? Siravanda? Is this all their music? Okay, it is quite loud. 7 minutes? This song is 7 minutes long. Yep. I have muted the tab. Okay, we're gonna listen through Paratoon music. Does not fit web fishing at all. On occasion, you occasionally stream out of a dark dungeon. I mean, my room does get pretty dark sometimes. I feel like the lighting in my room is probably like darker than I expect it to be. I think because I'm so used to it, my eyes adjust to it. But then like when I take photos sometimes of like random things in my room, it's like really dark. And then I'm like, wow, it's actually so dark. How is it so dark in my room? I just don't know. What is the last thing I've taken a photo of? Probably food. Yep, it was in fact food. It was, that's like 90% of my photos are just food. Last photo I took was when I went to a Vietnamese restaurant and I got, curry noodle soup. It was actually quite good. It had chicken. Do I have photos of bugs? I don't think so. What if I just search a bug in my Google Photos? Bug. Nope, no results for bug. What about insect? Any results? Okay, there's one of a drainfly. There was a spider decoration from Halloween. And there is a butterfly. Not a real butterfly, but like just like a image of a butterfly that was like on something else. Did you gross cry? Wait, at what? At the soup? At the noodle soup that I had? My last photo was of a rat. Oh, I feel like I haven't seen a rat in a while. Oh, it's spicy? It was not spicy. I mean, it said it was spicy, but it was not spicy. It was good. It was quite good, actually. Yeah, when was my last photo of a rat? I feel like it's been months. I'm gonna search. Rat. Last photo of a rat. Okay, well, okay, Google Photos did not tag all my photos of rats. When I search rat on my Google Photos, it only has 2 images, and that is when I saw a rat in Japan, specifically on New Year's Day. But I do have videos of rats that I guess maybe it was too small Google was like, I don't know, this doesn't look like a rat to me. How do I tolerate spice? I feel like I can tolerate spice more than most people that I know. Or like, of people that say they can't tolerate spice, I can definitely tolerate spice. But I would say maybe compared to people that really like eating spicy food, I would not be on that level. Like, I feel like I could eat spicy food, it's just that, like, I don't prefer it. There's something about it. Like, there's some foods that it's alright. It's like, if it's spicy, like, different types of spice. The mala type of spice, like from mapo tofu, that's good for me, but that's different, right? We're talking about, like, pepper, like capsaicin kind of spice. I feel like, although I can eat it, I usually prefer food when it doesn't have it. There's something about it. Like, I'm not a fan of adding hot sauce to things. For me, I feel like if I'm gonna have something spicy, it needs to be, like, integral to the dish, rather than something you add on to it. So, you know, hot sauce, it's like, it's an optional thing. You have other things that maybe work well. My latest photo is a random photo of a sign with random companies that have offices in my building I passed. Pikmin Bloom. Well, you play Pikmin Bloom? Is anyone playing games like that nowadays still? Like Pokemon Go, like that Monster Hunter real life game, or Pikmin Bloom, or whatever. Maybe when that happened last week, the grocer was moving the Ichiban miso stuff out, so I picked one discounted. This week I got replaced with some 3 out of 4 marked spicy ramen. I see. Yeah, I don't know, there's like some people like the really spicy ramen. Like the bulldog ramen with like 3x spicy or whatever. I don't see the appeal of it. Like I've also never had it because I've never been interested in trying it. But I don't think I would want to. You're still playing Pokemon Go? Monster Hunter, when I picked up Pikmin, I can't talk. Pikmin Bloom for a day, and then I decided I couldn't be bothered. I think the last one of those games that I played was Minecraft Earth. Remember when that was the thing? That was a long time ago. They discontinued it, but I had a good time with it. Minecraft Earth. I like regular spicy bulldog ramen. Double spicy is too spicy. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it, so I don't know. Bulldog is really good for cleaning up a stuffy snifferer. Possibly true. I can neither confirm. This music is too epic. You're telling me this song goes on for 7 minutes and 36 seconds? That's so much. It's a good song though. A lot of their songs are quite good. Yeah, quite the adventure. Has anyone been on an adventure recently? Could you really qualify your day-to-day life as an adventure? I'm going through Slack now. Yes. Any walk is an adventure? Yeah, but then if every walk is an adventure, doesn't it make it like it kind of dilutes the actual adventures though? If you describe everything as an adventure, then it's like... But then there's like things that are more adventurous, right? Just go on a lot of adventures. Yeah, but it's like you could define anything as an adventure. There's got to be like some amount, you know. Welcome, Ranmu. What is this? Is that a Pokemon? What is that? So it's Gloom from Pokemon. You should define everything as an adventure. But my issue with that is that it dilutes the actual ones. If everything is adventurous, then nothing is. Okay, the next song. This is the next song. It is known as Clay and Spice. Also quite good. Alright, I'm gonna drink water. You can listen to this song as I hydrate. Alright, I've hydrated. Your tier 5 adventure can even have tier 1 adventures inside of it. Like going on a Japan trip and you take a walk to explore the neighborhood. I mean, I guess. I guess. Why did I say it like that? I guess. Doesn't the fish normally go away when I jump? Is it normal to be able to dive with the fish? Maybe it's fine. I feel like I've never noticed... Oh no, yeah, you can do this. I remember people would spin around with the whale. But have they dived with the whale? Are they even truly diving out here? To be fair, the things I could have said I could have used the nerd emote. True. Could. But you didn't. But now you did. Anyway. Anything else going on? Can I check my notes? I've been talking about game dev. I've been talking about music. What do I have written down for discussion topics? Oh, not really anything. Actually, I've literally wrote down nothing for last Friday. I usually have at least like one thing written down per day. I guess maybe on that Friday I was either too lazy or like nothing happened. Nothing of significance happened. Any thoughts on Donkey Kong Direct? Not really. I did see tweets about it. I did see that you can, Donkey Kong can have outfits. That there's young Pauline in the game. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I wanted to write a speculative application and the button on the website disappeared. What do you mean? A speculative application? Writing cover letters. Imagine writing a cover letter. No, yeah, we talked about this last week. No interest in writing cover letters. Anyway, there's nothing on my notes. Oh, there was one thing that happened last week that I forgot to talk about. So, remember that at work we have like, you know, every time we have like one of these meetings, we, at the start of the meeting, we have like a social time question where we're like, oh, if you could do this or this, what would you do or whatever? Okay, maybe I'm switching topics too fast because people are still talking about job things. Maybe I will stay on this topic for a little bit longer. I switch too fast. It's the issue with streams sometimes. They switch topics too fast and you're like, I have something to say about this. I have written cover letters, but I don't think they've ever helped. And recently I've stopped writing them because I don't think they matter at all. Wish I could have skipped the job search and go to interviews. Have I interacted with the recruiters? Like in a series? What the frick is this? This song has lyrics? Not a fan. I don't want lyrics. Recruiters, so there's multiple ways to interpret that. There are recruiters that work for a company. That is the company that is hiring. Or you mean like third-party recruiters that work for multiple companies and try to like assign you like one of them? Maybe. What the heck is this song? Sounds kind of bad. This is a very chaotic song. Third-party recruiters. Oh, I think the informal term for them is headhunters, right? I think something like that. I don't think I've really worked with any of those. I don't know that I would want to necessarily. But also, it's like, I could see the benefit. Is like they are incentivized to get you the job, like for real. Because they get paid for doing that. Whereas the recruiters that work for the company, they're trying to figure out what's in the best interest of the company. Whereas the recruiter is, third-party recruiter is in your best interest because they want you to get hired and you, so that they get their money. I don't know. I've only really dealt with recruiters like from the company that I'm applying to. Someone wrote me on LinkedIn and I'm freaking out from it. I just ignore those. You get a lot of messages from recruiters on LinkedIn. I don't know, well, not you, but like I do, and many other people do. And I just ignore them. I don't know. There's a lot of them. There's so many recruiters out there. Might be worth it. Yeah, I don't know what the job market is like in Germany, but you could consider it. And then if you get a job from it, then that's cool. And if you don't, then you know to not do that again. Or maybe it was just a bad recruiter. And it's also possible. Anyway, does anyone have anything else they would like to add about job searching, or recruiters, or cover letters, or any other related topic? Actually, there was one person from a company that recently left, and they had this this thing that they would do in meetings. Or, you know, like when you ask a question in a meeting and like you wait for people to respond. He had like a rule where like you ask a question and you wait 7 seconds, because most people, when you ask a question, it'll take them at least 4 or 5 seconds to think of something they want to say. And then at some point, like maybe like 6 seconds where it starts being awkward silence. And then he's like, okay, well, 7 seconds, and for sure we've given enough time for someone to think of something to say, and they have not said anything. So 7 is good. And then every single time we have meetings, we're like, okay, we waited 7 seconds, so that's good enough. I feel like 7 seconds feels like so long though. I just want someone to give me a job without having to apply. I mean, sure. Many people. Depends on the question. It's like a general question. The question is like, does anyone have any other questions or responses to this? Depends. It's like a general question. Just a general poll for remaining questions. Q&A. It's not like you're asking them directly like, hey, what are your thoughts on this thing? It's like, you're like a general audience. Does anyone here have anything? Can I have 7 more seconds? Then at that point, then someone has responded, so you can say yes. But this is also like around the time when no one has anything to say. Because like, you know, if people had things to say, they would have, you know, I don't know. I guess it does depend on the question. But for most questions, someone will know in that 7 seconds whether they need time to formulate the thought. In which case, they can always go back to it. Anyway, it's life. That is life. Is that? I wonder if someone has written that down. 7-second rule for questions. Is there a thing? 7-second rule. Oh wait, this is actually a thing. If you wait 7 seconds every time you pause for questions or responses, it gives people time to process. Some people are capable of responding when they were not able to. Let's see, part of pausing for questions is giving people time to react before moving on. Does anyone have a question? I feel like sometimes I do move on too quickly though. So there have been times in meetings where I would just be like, anyone have questions on this? And then I would wait like 3 seconds. And then I'd be like, okay, I guess not then. And then like 1 second later, someone will be like, oh, actually, I had a question on this thing. You wait 7 seconds. Can feel like a long time. No questions. When this happens, it's not that no one had anything to say. Usually the leader or teacher kept interrupting them when they were trying to get words together. I see. So you don't say, anyone have questions? And then wait 3 seconds and say, really, no questions? And then another 3 seconds. You actually stay silent for the entire 7 seconds. And then I was like, the time limit has passed? No, I was like, answering. I answered the question. Helps to remember that as a teacher, you shouldn't be taking all the space. You should be offering some space and listening. All right, 7 seconds. Keep this in mind. You write this down right now. Put this in your notes. 7-second rule. Anyway, I've waited more than 7 seconds and no one else had anything to say. So also you got to consider stream delay, because this is different. If you're on Zoom, you know, maybe the delay is less, but for stream, maybe it's like 9 seconds. Anyway, okay, going back to the other thing I was going to talk about. We have questions, like social time questions. And one of them was a question that I did not actually think about. It actually had a lot of interesting answers. So the question was, when you draw a star, which order do you draw it from? I'm going to draw one right now. Badly, but I'm going to draw one for real. It is actually not good. But you'll notice that I always start in the bottom left and move upward this way. But then like when we asked other people, we had a lot of different answers. Also we got a thing. Same. You might have heard the doorbell. It's delivery. But yeah, okay, so I'm surprised. I was the only one in my group in the discussion that drew it this way. We had people that were like, actually I start from like the top and then I go down and I do this first. And then some people actually start from here and they went this. Actually, I don't know if anyone actually did that. So, number of the points. Okay, it's 1, 2. So tell me which one you start from and which one your second point goes to. Because I go from 4 to 1. I don't draw stars like this at all, I just draw the outline. Yeah, but if you were to do it. Actually, yeah, even when you draw the outline, do you start from this one and go there? Or do you start from, like, here and do that? Because it is quite hard to draw it like this. You go from 1 to 4. Okay, so you go, like, the other way. You go from 4 to... Yeah, okay, so it seems that most people here do it the same way that I do. And I thought this was like the most natural way to do it. But I was the only one in the group that did it. A lot of other people had different answers. I start from top and go left, so you go like here. Let's see. And then we had questions that was like, is this like because you're right-handed or left-handed? We found that it didn't really matter. Also, welcome Alexei. And then we were like, oh, maybe it's due to like the way we were taught. And then we're like, were we ever taught to write a star in this specific way? What's the weirdest way to do it? Maybe 5 to 3. Yeah, I feel like that's quite strange. That's quite a weird way to do it. But yeah, we were like, were we taught to do it this way? Or is it like related to writing systems? And I was like, wait, the way that I write it is how I would write a capital A. Right? When I write capital A, I go from bottom and then I do this. And then like I do this. But then this is essentially if I were to go from here to here, but I just don't draw like this stuff. I just then draw this in. Right? That's how I would write capital A. And I'm like, I wonder if that's the reason why. Some people write, and then when I said that, someone was like, actually, I write the A like this. I was like, oh, I could see that. But I specifically do this. I usually draw from the top, so like from here. I write my A's like that. Well, you gotta be more specific. Because there is more, there is stream delay. But yeah, I mean, I do it like this. And this matches how I write a star. I feel like, you know, you could do it like this. 1 to 4, 1 to 3. I see. So you do it in 2 parts. Actually, do I? Yeah, I do it like this. I have to make sure that I actually do it like this. And sometimes people think they write it a certain way, but then when they actually write it, it's not. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. It is good discussion topic. If you're ever in a discussion and you don't know what to talk about, you can be like, hey everyone, what's your opinion on how do you usually draw a star? I read my A starting from the top to the left and then back up and then to the right. How do you write a lowercase a? We've talked about this before. Handflow has also talked about this. Pomu Rainpuff has also talked about this. I feel like it depends. Sometimes I write it like this. Oh, but it looks nicer. Like this. But sometimes I just go like this. But I think I usually prefer doing this. I remember when people talked about it. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? When Handflow talked about this and Pomu Rainpuff talked about this, people were on their case. They're like, what the frick? You write an A like this? That's so weird. You only see this in fonts. I didn't know people wrote it like this. It's so weird. And I was one of those people that's like, it's not that weird. It's literally, like, fine. I don't know why people think it's so weird to write it like this. You're like, oh, it's only in when you're typing. I learned cursive. I have not used cursive in a while, but yeah, in cursive you would write the A's like this. A, B, C. See, this is the issue with cursive. It says sometimes, you know, if you go too far, it looks like an E. Like A, B, and then C, and then D, and then E. Well, what about F? It's like that. G, and then H. Cursive S, yeah. Cursive S. It's so cursed. Also, welcome Styler Gear. My handwrite is a mix of cursive and non-cursive. Bro is cursin. Our cursive B look different? How do you write it? It's not like this. You're like this. Because my teachers would get on my case when I was young because I would write it too fast. Sometimes I didn't finish the A, it would look like a U. U. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Like an A, but then it's like you don't start this thing exactly. So it's like this. And you were saying, yeah, the S is like this. It's weird. Hand lettering learning, literally learning. The word for learning is literally this. Thanks for stopping by, Tag Barrel. Enough fishing for tonight. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thank you for drawing Gloom. There it is. There's Gloom. Oh, the dithering though. Do you see this? The dithering. Screenshot that. The B in the lowercase one. I don't use it anymore. Okay, let's take a look at this. B. The B in the lowercase one, B, it's like that? What the heck? Wait, what? It's like this? I've never seen it like that. What the heck? Wait, cursive B. Yeah, it goes like this. I don't know, man. There's a lot of ways to do it. Stylo Gear, welcome. No worth, there is multiple tiles. What? Multiple styles, that's probably what you meant. Or types. Styles or types. Vile Plume. Oh, that's Vile Plume. It's not gloom. No, it's gloom. This is gloom. I know Pokemon. It's literally gloom. Vileplume is like different. Anyway. I wonder if you did like a poll to see how many people... Man, is there a thing? How... Order in which people draw 5-pointed stars. Is there like a... Hold on, can we see this tutorial? Do they tell you which direction to draw? Draw center, draw the circle, draw this thing. Okay, they start from... Wait, what the frick? They go bottom? They start from the top and then they go to the bottom left? That's weird. Pentagram. How to draw a 5-pointed star. How do they do it? They start this way? Wait, what? They start going horizontal? You do the same thing? You start from 5 and go to 2? Or do you go to 3? Anyway, that was our discussion. We talked about the different ways to do it. This is the one I learned. I will trust you that it looks different than this one. From 5 to 2. Let's see. I mean, yeah. Anyway, there's many ways to do it. We have now determined, though, that my way of doing it is the most common in this chat of the people that have mentioned that the way they can't talk, the way that they do it. Oh, look at that lag. Wow. Anyway, that's life. Sometimes, well, another whale. That people are doing things differently. And we don't even think about it. We never even stop to think that people would write, or that people would draw stars in a different order. Because in the end, it looks the same. I think the core thing about my handwriting is that I do some letters in a weird fancy way, while others are extremely bland. I say, I wonder if lefties do it mirrored. Yeah, that's another thing that we did talk about. In our discussion at work, we did not find that it had a correlation. Thanks for fishing. Thanks for stopping by. But now you know. Now you know that my way is objectively the best one. Clearly. Did I welcome naming? No, you were here, right? Did I just not welcome you? No, you were not here. Okay. Welcome. Actually. Actually. That was, I know, I checked your chat history, just to confirm. Did some of the people that wanted to play web fishing actually stay over multiple weeks? Oh, you mean like the random chatters that I didn't know? No, they did not. Because I knew they wouldn't. Why would they do it? They only care about web fishing. Anyway. Web fishing is dead. No one will ever play web fishing ever again. The peak of web fishing's popularity has long gone. I don't know if this game will ever receive another update. The developer has totally stopped tweeting. This game had such potential. And it is ruined. I mean, I guess not every game needs to last forever. You know, it did have a good few weeks. Everyone was having fun before the hackers showed up. And it was nice. It's like those, sometimes I get those recommended videos on YouTube that are like, I logged onto a game that has, like, 0 players. Here's what it's like. I never actually watched the videos, but I do get them recommended, and I feel like web fishing is like one of those games. Like maybe 10 years from now, someone will make like a video essay about like web fishing. Like, this game used to have so many players and no one is on it anymore. It's nice that it's still playable. Yeah. I mean, they're not like hosting central servers. Okay, they're hosting servers for discovering other servers. But I think the actual like gameplay all happens over Steam's networks. So like they don't really have too much infrastructure that they need to consider. But yeah, you know, there's things. Anyway, I feel like listening to this music is a good idea. It adds why did it just stop? What the frick? Right after I said listening to music is good, it just stopped. Excuse me? What happened? What happened to the audio? Okay, what did I like close? I blocked autoplay media. It was literally playing. But this is autoplay. It's just this, it can't be. Because it was playing music earlier. What if I just refresh the page? We were on the song known as Petite Walk. Oh, there's so no. Is there a way to like go through this playlist specifically? Okay, we were on this one. Okay, that was weird. It was the second playlist? No, it was this playlist. I know. Wait, did web fishing crash? Is that what it was? What the heck? Did I close web fishing? What was that about? Lost connection? Yeah, I think my web fishing crashed. Alright, I will create another lobby. Welcome Classic Carabel. Yo, SNSD, the K-pop group. Alright, it's fine. Don't you worry. Good times. I will accept you into the lobby. Finally brought up my audio interface so it can be used with OBS. Learn to use ASIO. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you have figured it out. That you were able to have audio in some ways or other. Any audio fans out there? Anyone enjoy audio? Also, when I was in that settings menu, no, it was the other menu, I noticed that the way that they did the close button, it was just an X, but it was the same way that I'm doing it in my game. My game has, you know, it has multiple save files now, but it also needs a way to delete save files. So I just have a button that has an X, but that X is like in one of these button containers, and it's literally just the letter X. They did it the same way. Welcome Ultra Chakar. Windows 11 audio is stupid. But he was using Linux though. I guess jack is a thing on Windows. Audio jack? I don't know. No one even knows music. Can you guess why I was setting up OBS on Windows again? No, I cannot guess why. But you could tell me. You could tell me why. And I will not know. Anyway. Yeah, we're having fun here. League of Legends? Is League of Legends not available on Linux? I guess maybe, okay, like the anti-cheat, right? Kernel level anti-cheat. This guy literally has Windows for League. He's so addicted to League of Legends. And for what? And why even? I will never play League. People named Chet are not allowed to play. Anti-Chet. They hate him. They will literally never allow Chet to play. He's got antis. And not antis as in like, you know, the sibling of your parents. But anti, like anti-freeze, anti-freeze. Anti-freeze? I don't know. What am I saying? Things. Oh, right, I was talking about the music. Yes, listening to the music is nice. That's really all I had to say about that. Music. Good times. I could be playing this on Spotify as well. You know, because it does say I'm listening to stream beats, but I'm not. What if you actually wanted to know the title of the song? Okay, I'm going to open it up on Spotify. I'm going to look up Paratune. Paratune on Spotify. Oh, but they don't list their songs in order, though. Discography? Do they have, like, a playlist of all their songs? Discovered on artist playlist, Paratune music list. Okay, there it is. I should also make sure that I exclude from my taste profile so that it doesn't influence my algorithm. Oh, but these aren't in the same order. These have different ordering. This includes music from the copyright site Paratune as well as music made in the past. Wait, but then is the other music not royalty free then? Fans also like these songs. Popular. Well, okay, I don't know necessarily that all the ones on the SoundCloud or on Spotify are royalty free. Actually, I don't know if all of these are royalty free. Like, I believe these are, but then the other ones that are on the other playlist might not be. Oh, this one's nice. What is this? Wind's Embrace. That's a good one. Auntie Freeze, the sister of Old Man Winter. So true. He was so true for this. How have I not realized you can fish while bouncing on the mushroom? It's a common thing. It's always happening. Everyone was doing it. We are still doing it. It's a national pastime. Of all time. The pastime of all time. A radiant turtle. Whee! Good times. Good times out here. Anyway, what else is there? Anything else worth discussing? Any events? Okay, like disregarding like the actual world events that have significance. Any like world events that do not have significance that are worth talking about? Like, oh, well, did you see the new whatever happened? The VTuber did this thing. Did you see about there's new Niji Sanji drama? Is there? I feel like no one talks about them anymore. Ever since Selen like was fired, I've not heard too much about Niji Sanji. I don't really know. I'm not really sure what's happening. I'm not sure that I want to know. Do I want to know? Maybe not. What if we look up, you know, maybe, I don't know. VTuber news. Hey, did you see that, Samiko Saba had a new, like, the release trailer for her debut or something? that happened. My latest exposure to Niji En was a small JP VTuber watching one of their clips, reacting to a react stream. Some people are really not exposed to drama. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. Like, I am on a Discord where some people sometimes talk about, like, stuff that happens. They're like, hey, do you see this thing? Did you see this person did this thing? And I'm just like, nope, this is where I get all my news from. I feel like I'm not that involved in, like, the bigger VTuber community anymore. You know, I'm just out here watching the indie VTubers that I watch. And that's it. Like when like other stuff is happening, I'm just like, okay, I guess that's happening. Same, I just don't know any of those people. True. This is how I get news on big VTuber stuff, just a VTuber. What the frick, man? They got lyrics. Don't put your lyrics in my royalty-free background music songs. He hates VTubers. That's right. Clip this out of context. Frickin' VTubers don't actually clip this. Hate VTubers, man. I'm just kidding. VTubers, I think sometimes they're cool. And this is where you go. He said sometimes. He only said sometimes. Why do he hate VTubers now? That aside, there has to be something. What do you mean by that? Something? Something could be anything. VTubers. What about... That checks my notes. What about the... Nothing. What about nothing? There's not... I got nothing. Well, stuff that we already talked about from last week. Nope. That's all. There's literally nothing else going on. Hold on, what if I check my Twitter right now? Is there anything on Twitter that I could use for content on my stream? All for One news. Holo All for One venue ticket sales date is confirmed. Venue ticket sales June 21st. I guess they're having like a concert or something. Radio City Music Hall. I don't even know where that is. Radio City Music Hall? I've heard of it though. Radio City Music Hall. Oh yeah, Off-Kai is this weekend. That's a thing that happened. Wait, where's Radio? Is that the one in New York? It is. Okay, I know this place. I was like, this sounds familiar. Wait, Whole Life, they're having another concert in New York? Welcome, Michael. Thank you for the 14 months. Aiden Oreo, call me Smorio. Isn't that the plumber guy who jumps around and wears red? They didn't, yeah, they did in fact announce that. I'm sure a lot of people are like, another concert in New York? Bro, why don't they go to like Iowa? Don't they know they have fans in Iowa? Bro. Smorio from Smash Bros? Exactly. It's because I'm a smart cookie. And Oreo is a cookie, so I'm a Smorio. Is that true? Is this real? If you need another topic, I got a Fife. What is that? First in, first emitted? Don't even know. Sandwich. Man, this song is too high energy. What is this one called? Whoops. Magic Skirmish. Oh, look at this image. Dogs? Halloween dogs? Oh my god. That's great. It's a good image. Ghost dogs. Me when the dog is ghost. This is the same song. This sounds like the same song. Okay, we got a different song now. Yamaha.com/files/yrf-21_front1f. What is this one? Oh, it's like a recorder. It's a recorder. Why do they call them recorders anyway? Are they even recording things? Are they oh, is it because they're courting again? There was a tweet the other day or today that I saw where someone was making fun of someone for not realizing this. Something that I also did not realize. Did you ever think that the word coincidence could be broken up into co and incidents, and it means that there are two incidents that are happening at the same time? I never thought about this. I was like, wait a second, that makes sense. A coincidence? There's like two incidents occurring? I did not realize this. But then like the thread that I saw on Twitter, everyone was just like, oh, they're so stupid. Everyone was like, they can't believe this is what's trending. They don't even realize. But I saw the thread and I was like, I didn't know this. You think you're so superior for having thought about this? I haven't thought about it. Since they call those recorders, why did they call accordions accordions? I don't even know. Is it actually true though? Coincidence? Coincidence, etymology? Coincidence. Coincidir, which means to fall upon together. Is it not actually co and incidence? Was I lying? Did that not actually make sense? No, it's the remarkable concurrence of events. That's literally coincident. Okay, it's literally has to be. No, but it's from coincidir. Have I thought about cooperating? Yes, but usually not. They're operating at the same time. What if all words are kind of like that? Yeah, but like that was the sense of superiority from the Twitter thread. They're like, don't they know every word is like that? Yeah, but like sometimes you don't think about it. Like, sure, it makes sense. But they're like, oh, they're so stupid. They don't even know. They didn't even stop to consider that words have patterns. Like, yeah, that is correct. And sometimes you just don't think about it. That the word is existing on its own, and you do not, like, think to break it up into multiple components. And that's life. Welcome, delicious smile. This music is nice. What is this? This one is known as a Lollipop Lane, royalty free. That's a good one. Welcome, old man diabetes. He's always Poro sad. Why is Poro so sad? Who even is Poro? I just learn words through magic, not by overanalyzing them. What about regular analyzing? I don't see any reason to feel superior, but they did. They did, in fact, feel so superior. They're like, this is the stuff that trends on Twitter. Every single day there's someone that's like, do you know that this obvious thing is this other thing? But you know, people don't think about it. This gives village music and colorful JRPG from early 2000s. True. Video game music. Sci-fi. Atelier core? Is it though? Yo, what the? Chenna? What are you doing? Shout out. Chenna. Kitty. You were streaming just chatting. I hope you had a good stream where you chatted about things. Oh yeah, she's going to be at Toho Fest. That is a convention that exists. Oh no, that was in the past. It already happened. Yes, that was like last weekend or something. Welcome streamers? Streamers? Well, okay, that's not false. There are streamers. 2 of you from the raid are streamers. I meant to say raiders. Welcome raiders. Yeah, we're listening to royalty-free music for sometimes for video games. It's cool. I was chatting about Toho Fest. It was, yeah, sounded good. It sounded like you had a good time, probably, I would assume. Zoe said something about the Atelier series. If you have time, check out Atelier's OST. It's very good. I'm sure it is good, though. Ooh, what is this one? It's like a forest. Whistling winds. Nice. Don't worry, Wolfie, Toho Fest will happen again. Are you sure about that? What if it never happens again, and you're the reason why? It's because you were so confident that it would happen, and then they're like, next year, like, oh sorry, actually that was the last one. That's not gonna happen though. Surely it's gonna happen. They announced dates next. Well, okay, sure. But like, no, it's actually gonna happen for real. It's going to be a real thing that happens. Yeah, everyone is officially a streamer now. I mean, I feel like of the chatters who are in the chat right now, it's like a good percentage of streamers. Got Michael, we got Hamflu, we got Chenna, we got Zoe, we got Insomnus. That's like at least half the people that are chatting. It's literally most of them. And then the rest of you, you were going to become a streamer at some point, surely? You're gonna be like, oh yeah, streaming seems fun. Surely I could do it. And then you start streaming, and you're like, actually, this is fun. That's it. I wish I was in the chat right now. You are, though. I've literally posted a message in the chat. Yeah, imagine not streaming. I made the mistake to bring up that I'm streaming too much. You know, talking about streaming is kind of fun, but also weird to do that in chats. Is it though? Welcome, Zabrungus. I would love to chat. You have already done it, actually. You're doing it right now. At some point, streaming. I streamed once in 2018. All my friends showed up. Smile. Now, the smile kind of implies something. You know, despite smiling being a positive emotion, I often feel like when people post smile, they imply something that is not exactly positive. And that perhaps you were implying something about the number of friends that did show up. First, you must spend $400 on a shirt. He said shirt. The word wrong, guys. Word wrong. Shirt SM7, bro. He doesn't even know he said shirt SM7. Yeah, just make fun of him. Get him. Mods. Prick. Next song. Skip this one. The nefarious Wolf's smile. Yeah, you spent $400 on a shirt. $2,000 on a Sony camera? What the? That's too much. Welcome, Hamp. Let's see, I streamed once and no one showed up. My internet was screwy though, so it didn't turn out right. Well, surely next time. Do you hate singers? Yes. If you sing, you gotta... I'm just kidding. I'm not listening for audio that has music on this stream. Okay, it's gotta be instrumental. Because I'm talking. You can't have another voice talking or singing at the same time as I am. Because then it overlaps. Yeah, audio that has music. Exactly. That's totally what I meant, and I totally did not mean audio that has lyrics, because that would not make sense. I was streaming in an obscure category to test it, but forgot they could join from Discord. Everyone showed up even though I was intentionally hiding, and yes, I mean all of them. How could all of them possibly show up? That's literally impossible. Can't have everyone show up. Got Ethernet now. Yo, I love having Ethernet. I love being able to send data and have it be transmitted to my router in a manner that has minimal packet loss. I think that's cool. That's how you become a streamer. You buy all the stream things and then you install OBS. I don't know why I put emphasis on them. Yes, you gotta, if you are going to stream, you have to buy the most expensive things. Because I made the mistake of not buying the most expensive things, and then I was like, well, I'm now going to buy the most expensive one. And now that I have it, the other thing that I had earlier is just sitting in a box. I should have just gone straight to the expensive one. Whimsical type beat. Silent witness. True. Yeah, Wi-Fi. If something breaks, you don't have to cancel stream. Oh, you mean if my microphone breaks? That's not gonna happen. Imagine breaking a microphone. Especially this SM7B, known for having high quality audio. Respected by most podcasters and probably doesn't actually work for most voices, but like for some voices it sounds good, but for me it probably is not the most ideal, but this is what I went with. Michael, I knew you were going to say that. I also thought it. I was like, this does sound like Michael. This has literally happened to a streamer. The SM7D, it broke? Or what? Start a throwing page? Yeah, throwing money at the streamer. Is that why they call it throne? Throne? Yeah, more like throne gifts. Yes, it was Lily Hops. What? Her SM7B broke? I can't believe this. Anytime anyone says micro something, I say Michael something. What about when someone says micro economics? What about that? What about when someone says micro phone? I guess we did say it. We did just say that. Michael economics. Me when Michael is there. Did Lily really start going ham on Dong after Razul graduated? She has been streaming Mahjong. It's true. Anyway, this is where everyone goes like, hey, Razul, what do you think Razul's doing? Like, I'm sure he's gonna be in name of VTuber organization. I'm sure he's gonna be in freaking he's gonna be in Phase Connect, the new male branch that's coming up. Obviously. Yeah, Razul graduated. That surprised me. Some guy who I never would have expected to graduate. Really makes you think. Wires. New Holostars. No, surely there's gotta be Phase Connect. There's gonna be the new Phase Connect. Male. I'm gonna have males. She has been streaming a lot this month to target 300 hours. 300 hours? How many hours per day is that? To stream 300 hours per month? That's like 10, isn't that like 10 hours a day? Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. 300, that's 300 hours. 300 is 300 hours. Welcome, Cat Pots. Thank you for the 6 months. Always enough hours for Wolfie, is that true? Males on stream? You know. I mean, if you think about it, that Razul has collabed with several members of FaZe Connect. Mari _Ian. I think Pippa has been on his streams before, Mahjong. You're like, what if there was a male FaZe Connect branch? Right? This is my... What are the kids? The R-Rat? This is my R-Rat. So it's gonna be that. Anyway. Razul would be a good person in it then, right? It's all about the connections. You're like, oh, this person... You just gotta know people. I don't know. Anyway. What if he just never shows up again? You know, there's people that they just graduate and they simply just disappear. You'd be like, oh, they're totally gonna be in this organization, but then like you don't see them again. They just disappear. Humor-wise, he also fits many of the FaZe Connect people. He also loves the Mets. I love the Mets. Yes, Razul graduate. I believe he is not coming back to streaming. Probable life stuff. Well. Oh. Is he tweeting? Is he still tweeting? Well, I don't know. Because it's like, you know, announcing a graduation is like very like... You know, you could just be like... cutting down on stream hours. You just be like, I'm not streaming as much, and then you just end up like not streaming at all. To specifically graduate is like, it's like a big thing, you know. Didn't we hear this song already? We did. So yeah, Wookie's doing it. It is true, I did see her tweets. But then she was like, oh, actually, someone messaged me and said, you could just choose to cut down on your streaming hours. And she said, oh, true, I could do that. Jerma graduated, but he didn't graduate. He just said soft retirement. That's literally it. Campbell's been enjoying his graduation. Campbell's graduating? Bro. I mean, oh, I see, because he has not been streaming. Hamflo, he's like, I'm gonna stream, and then when it comes to streaming, he's like, actually, guys, today's stream canceled for many days in a row. So when he used to stream like 5 days a week, he's got the schedule out, and it's like, I'm gonna stream 5 days, and then he streams 1 day. And then one of the days, like, Nabunan, and Nabunan doesn't show up until like 4 hours later, and before you know it, it's like midnight, and then they start to stream. I don't know. Classic stream. Mahjong. I can't recall an indie actually graduating and not having a second life of sorts. Yeah, right? It's like, if you just want to stop streaming, you could simply just... be like, hey, I'm gonna cut down on streaming, or like maybe I'm gonna like not stream as much, maybe, you know, on hiatus or whatever. Just like stop showing up. Welcome, Pork Foo. That'd be funny if Ham just canceled 30 days in a row. I mean, didn't he was like, I'm gonna stream on, since I'm free on Tuesday, I can stream on Tuesday, and then he doesn't stream on Tuesday. What's he doing? This is where we all make fun of Ham Flow. I can't believe he would do that. Why would he do that? Doesn't he know that I have streams to watch? One of them, which is him. So inconsiderate. I'm just kidding. Well, okay, I'm not kidding, because I'm kidding in the sense that it's a joke that I'm making fun of him, but I do actually watch his streams. That part is not a joke. Usually people either just stop or they have some kind of future plans. Exactly. And cancel the stream cancellation. That's why you just stop having schedules. Exactly. That's my opinion. Say, hey guys, I'm not streaming. See you some other time. Michael said, I can't even catch Amplo stream and I'm angry. Bro. I can't believe this. How is this turtle so small? Okay, I'm gonna drink water. It is 7 p.m. Alright. I have hydrated successfully. Anyway, streaming. What's the deal with streams? What if stream? Actually, you know, apparently there was like a new branch, or not new branch, a new Niji Sanji EN like generation / wave in like the past like 6 months that I keep forgetting exists. It was announced and then I just did not follow it at all. What is my ultimate streaming pet peeve? What is an example of something that you would mean by this? Like a thing that when I stream and then, or like something, some issue that I have with streaming. One of them is they got, is that the drama that you're talking about? It's a fallout of recent events. I did not even know. I didn't even know they existed. They got terminated. The streamer doesn't read and laugh on my messages. Yo, so true though. Isn't that like a chatter pet peeve though? It does bother me sometimes. When streamer is when their messages are, what am I saying? When they don't keep up with the chat and then they read your message like 5 minutes later when it's not relevant anymore. It's like, it was a very timely joke. It was about something specific that you said in this one, you know, as a one-off thing in this 1 minute. And since you read it 5 minutes later, the context was lost and you did not understand why it was funny. Wow. The different one? I see. Debuting on 15th of... It's been March? That was like 3 months ago. By the Beat. Yeah, that's the new one. Yeah, me when I say a really funny joke and the streamer doesn't even see it. And they skip the messages. But you know, it's cool when they skip many messages but then they read my message. Even if they don't find it funny. Because they chose to read my message. Welcome, Nutritious. So yeah, of all the messages you could have read, you made the mistake of reading mine. Good going, streamer. There were other messages that were way funnier. You could have read those. Or like when streamer is asking for like advice, but then they don't read the message that actually has the right advice. Like, guys, how do I do this? And then everyone's giving like joke comments and then one person gives a real like answer and they don't read that one. And then they're like, why is no one telling me, bro? Everyone's just trolling. And then I'm like, no, literally this person said exactly what to do. You just chose not to read it. It's life. Certain streams where I leave when I feel the urge to backseat for this exact reason. It does happen. And the streamer gets one guide, exact. No, but it's like every guy. It's every guy. It's like the one guy is correct, but everyone else is just joking. That's how it is, you know? It's life. What about when streamer reads your message and then they make fun of you because you spelled the word wrong? When you have a typo in your message and streamers like, laugh at them. Word wrong, get them out of here. Actually, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Some people, though, they may be inclined to leave the chat. They'd be like, this streamer is too much. This has happened to me. Did you leave the chat? Was it this chat? Was it my chat? Streamer, don't read my messages? Okay. It's too late. I've already done it. No. Can you spell a word wrong so that it can happen in this chat? Like right, just for example right now, just spell a word wrong. I most certainly do it as a matter of emotional regulation of making fun of chatters that spell words wrong. Or what? Zool called me out for using the wrong your/your. Bro, that's why he graduated. He had too much regret. He's like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that one thing about Namington. This guy, he was just being nice, and I simply obliterated him. I simply wires blasted him. And, you know, now I feel remorse. The last thing I need is to be upset over anything that happens on a stream. Yeah, but what if the streamer is bad? What if streamer is awful? Michael does that? How does she respond? Does she think it's funny? Does she say, Michael, thank you for the insightful comment? Also, where's the music? Where did the music go? There's no music here. Okay, the last song was Crystal Falls. I sure hope it does, because gravity does in fact affect crystals. And the image is a bird. No. She says that you're sexually harassing her? And how do you respond to that? Deltarune has a lot of your swaps that are certainly on purpose. Yeah, that's Toby Fox's humor. It's Homestuck. Michael writes. He's writing. Wow, Michael, cancel that guy. Cancel this man. Cancel this guy. Get him out of this. He's a known harasser. Should make sure he's never allowed to chat ever again. In any chance. Especially not this one. Why would he do that? Why would Michael even do that? Remember that time he got banned for like trying to hunt someone named Michael? Remember that, guys? When someone thought your username was a targeted attack on someone and that person's name was Michael. They thought you were going to hunt them. Oh, this song is nice. What is this? Zephyr Fields? It's a good one. Permanent Man. What are some other chatter streamer interactions that are notable to mention on this stream? What about the time when streamer streams? How about when the streamer says words and then the chat laughs and they say streamer? That is so funny. And the chat is hilarious. Slide into DMs into a long call-out post. Or is that the streamer chat interaction? Can you believe streamer said this? Why would they say that? That would require DMing people. Imagine DMing people. Could not be me. I have not DM'd anyone. I would simply never interact with anyone. I've heard the Japanese version of Undertale has weird random uses of hiragana, katakana, and kanji. That would be a way to localize it. I could see that. Have I ever used a whetstone on a pair of scissors? No. Have you? Have you been doing this? I like to slightly guide the streamer to do a silly thing by suggesting something, and then they do it. What's an example of this? When was a time that you have done this? The streamer, it'd be really funny if you did this thing. And then they go, I don't think I should. And then you go, haha, but it would be so funny though. And then they do it and it's not funny. And then they blame you for doing it. He has never used a whetstone on a pair of scissors. Do you plan on it though? Is that a thing that would be cool to do? I don't even know. Don't think so. You don't think you would ever do it? What about on a knife? A whetstone? What about a blade? A blade of grass. Blade. That's the vampire guy. Knife feels different because some knives are expensive. Yeah, but isn't a scissor just two knives though, if you think about it? Actually, that's not true at all. It's not even makes sense. Papyruses of traditional text boxes are vertical or right to left. True. That is in fact something that occurs. What's your favorite streamer thing? When a streamer does something and you're like, that is a cool thing that this streamer did. When they audit a chatter's history. Can we audit my history on Northern Lions chat again? Let's look at my recent chat messages. Choco J, not like this. Glorp, Choco J, cry sobbing, Wawa. Hot and immortal VTuber. I feel like that's the first message you've sent that is not an emote in a while. Oh, look at this music. And by look, I mean listen to. The recent one was Hime Hinkitsuki. Someone made a meme where someone went into a blood bank to rob it and then left when they learned it is a blood bank. At the end, they arrive at their boss, who is a vampire, who tells them off for not robbing the blood bank. I said you should record the voice line, and then she did. Which voice line? Which one? Someone made a meme where someone went. Okay. I see. I am aware of this streamer. Sometimes she raids into Essie, or also the other way around. That's a thing. That's a thing. Me, when I'm aware of streamers due to interactions with other streamers. It's true. She's funny. I haven't really tuned into the streams for that long to really know, but I could see it. Also, welcome, Brooke. Oh, how about this? What about, like, streams where the chat feels too supportive? Do you understand this? when the chat is too supportive, when there's no like playful banter between the chatter and streamer, it feels a bit weird. There's like times when like, you know, I feel like the chats that I feel the most okay being in are the ones where the streamer and chat are kind of even adversarial. That sometimes streamer will say a joke that is actually really funny, but then the chat is just like awful joke streamer, and that's just like the vibe that they have. There's something about that is fun. Like as a chatter. As a streamer, I like when people tell me my jokes are good. But as a chatter, it's always funny when jokes that are normally supposed to be funny and are actually funny are met with streamer that was not funny. You know, it's good. I don't like that particular kind of banter. Like which one? What is your favorite type of chat community? And I feel like sometimes a chat can be too parasocial. Actually, okay, I think it's the type of vibe that I'm talking about is like if the chat, this is like specifically for female VTubers, if the chat is the kind of chat that would hate seeing them interact at all with any sort of male, that's kind of stream that I'm like, not really vibing with this kind of thing. It's a bit too weird for me. Everyone's like, how dare you interact with a male? That kind of stuff is off-putting. Males. Can't believe they would interact with a male streamer. Telling a streamer if joke is bad even if you think it's good. It's not really. It's like -2s, even when the joke is good. Welcome Guacamigo. Nice biceps. I don't know what you're talking about. It does not exist. Would not be okay with that kind of chat or fan base. It is surprisingly common. You would think that is... I feel like it is more common with like female streamers. But then it does also happen with male streamers, right? If there's like a male VTuber who's like, who mostly has a female audience, when they interact with like a female streamer, sometimes their audience is like, what the frig, don't ever talk to her. What did I arrive to? We're talking about chat/streamer interactions that may be strange. I don't like chats where everyone is super supportive in a slightly simpy way. Yeah, maybe that's how I could explain it. Everyone is too supportive. They send, oh, this is what I mean. When they send like so many super chats, and it's all like, streamer, you're doing great. Thank you for saving my life. I don't know what I would do without you. You brighten my day so much. I'm like, if everyone's like that, I'm like, that's freaking like, that's too much. It's the same with K-pop and Japanese idols. Exactly. Anyway, there's many things like this. Streaming. What is this song? This song is... Whoops. Paratune Black Crystal. Royalty-free music. I'm weirded out when that happened. I can't share those feelings, so I absolutely feel like I belong. Wait, what? Can't share those feelings. Oh, so like when stream is too supportive. Like I don't... Okay, that makes more sense. Because what you said originally was like, these are conflicting sentences. But yeah. Anyway. These are things, you know, things that happen on occasion. Anyway, what else is there even to talk about in life? On stream even. What is there even to stream? There's me walking around this lake for like 3 hours. Pressing E occasionally on these buckets. Have I even fished in like the past 30 minutes? I feel like I've just been like walking back and forth. Here we go. Here's some fishing. Wow. Look at this. An opulent guppy. Opulent guppy. Isn't that the song by K-pop artist Psy where he says opulent, what's it called? I messed up the joke. Opulent guppy style. Wow, great joke streamer. Me when streamer has a very insightful joke that is super clever. The delivery was great. There could be a joke in there. Delivery. Call me Death Stranding the way the joke delivery was good. I don't know. I don't know. Just imagine. Imagine if the joke landed. Call me, no. Next song. Skip that song. Imagine having vocals. I recently talked with a friend about ASMR. I realized that for me, ASMR feels weirdly intimate in a way that I'm not comfortable with. I also do not like ASMR. It's highly not comfortable. And I do not appreciate it. I do also feel though that chatters in ASMR streams give me a strange kind of vibe. Maybe this is not a good thing to... I just don't know. It just feels weird, in my opinion. But maybe it's just me. Maybe, you know, many people are okay with it. But me, I'm like, I don't know about this. It's just strange. But you know, whatever. Everyone has their own things they enjoy. It's a different space. Exactly. A space that I cannot relate to. At all. You know, maybe there's people in this chat that are like, actually, I love ASMR streams. I enjoy when streamer... I don't know, what do they do? When they tap the microphone and they whisper or whatever. I don't. I hate that stuff. Actually, there's on Headspace, which is where I listen to sleepcasts to go to sleep. They have like one version of one of their sleepcasts that is like parentheses ASMR. And I was like, I wonder what this is like. I listened to it for like 5 seconds and they started whispering and I'm like, nope, I'm out of here. I hate this stuff. I still have this theory that people who predominantly like normal Zatsu don't enjoy ASMR and vice versa. No, because I feel like, so like SE_channel, she does chatting streams and ASMR. I feel like, you know, people are there for both of them. I'm not there though because I don't like ASMR. But I also do get the sense that, I mean, we've talked about this, that sometimes people that stream ASMR, when they stream other stuff, the people that watch them for ASMR do not show up to their non-ASMR streams. Because they're only there for the ASMR. You know, there have been streamers that they're like, oh, I'm going to stream ASMR, and then as soon as they stream something else, it's like, whoop, no one's here. And then they feel like they have to continue doing ASMR because otherwise, you know, that's where most of their audience comes from. I don't know. That's streaming. It's like me when I stream game dev. Grrr. I'm only here for game. I can't believe. Speaking of ASMR artists, Mimi's 3D model is cute. Does she even do ASMR anymore? I do not know. Because I do not actually keep up with her content. Other than like some clips that I've seen. This stuff is only on her YouTube now, so you can easily avoid it. Oh, is this about Essie or about Mimi? Oh, okay. I feel like there are some game dev only Andes. Exactly. It makes sense. Talk about Essie. Okay. Well, that explains why I have not seen ASMR on Twitch categories of people that I follow. There's also Mahjong category people. I mean, yeah, there's like every category. There's a webfishing category, which is dying. There's I don't know. There's things. League of Legends, perhaps. Valorant. When streamers stream something that is not their main game, everyone's like, I'm just here for League of Legends, man. It's always gonna be a League streamer, bro. And everyone's gonna tune in, they'll be like, whoa. This guy is an amazing gamer. He's the top jungler or whatever. Seems like a miserable experience. It's true. Imagine playing League. Whoa. Catnap. Royalty-free music. Anyway. League is like hopping into a bar with friends and taking a few shots. Is it though? Is it really? Drinking by yourself is sad? Whoa, hey. Hey, ChocoJax does it. And I guess, would you count if someone drinks but then they're like streaming and their chat is interacting, would you consider that them drinking by themselves? Or would it not count because there's people watching them do it? I don't think so. As in, you don't think they're alone? If someone invites me to a League collab or something, I would consider it. Well, it will never be me, because I would never play League. If someone invited me to a League collab, I'd be like, what the frick are you talking about? Who do you think you are? Get out of here. The way Choco does it is too social. Imagine though. But what if someone would... What if they drink every day, but they're just doing it on stream? Would that also not be problematic though? I mean, I guess it would be. But it's like, I guess they would not technically be alone. And you'd be like, well, maybe they have a problem. Alcoholism. Check your DMs. Whoa, what the... Why would he send this? Can't believe this. Cancel him. Hey everyone, what's the most recent DM you've received? Everyone dox your DMs right now. Community discussion. Everyone just leak your messages. And then you say, streamer, this is my message. Actually, what was my most recent thing that I've sent? It's always a response. Most recent thing is, I put ChocoJ noted. That is the most recent thing I've sent in a DM. Now, you will have no context on what the message was. It's just something that I would have noted. Welcome Polyglitch, my friend agreeing to watching anime with me. DMs leaked. I can't believe it. Okay, you've sent okay. Hexa thanking me for spreading the word about fantasy modes. Oh, you were leaking actual direct messages? I can't believe this. That you would do this. Months ago? You have not DM'd someone months ago? My most recent DM that had ChocoJ noted was June 15th. Sunday. It was Sunday. Scandalous. Imagine receiving a kind message from a streamer for spreading the word about a game. Hexa Digital is right there. Literally, you can never be trusted again for leaking a message. Despite me asking everyone. This DM is my friend telling me their league game is done. Okay. What about the most recent DM you received? When? Okay, hold on. When? Okay, without telling me the contents of the message, when was the most recent DM that you've received? The most recent DM I've received yesterday, 4:19 p.m. That was the Jetzd now? Oh, that's what it means in German? I see. Oh, actually, I guess if... Okay, not counting work, because I did receive a DM on Slack. Literally during this stream. 6 p.m. yesterday. So true. Anyway. It's life. Sometimes I get questions from people asking me about like, hey, I drew this thing in your style. Is it okay for me to post it? Sometimes I'm just like, yes. Sometimes I just ignore it. Because I'm like, I don't know, you could just do it. But I mean, like, maybe I should answer. I probably should answer. Because at least they're being nice enough to ask me about it. Sometimes people, they don't ask, and they actually start charging money for it. And, like, I'm not going to stop them. But, like, if they had asked, I would have said, no, don't sell it. Anyway, it's life. Imagine messaging people for things. I will probably go on a DMing streak in the next couple of days, weeks. I have something fun in mind. Spoilers? You are spoiling whatever it is that you are planning in a vague manner. I will probably send some DMs. Unrelated to this, though. It's gonna be about my game. It's gonna be my game. It's direct messages about the game. Whoa. What the frick is this? Music is scary. Echoed art? Skip that one. Get that out of here. DMs about games. Yeah, I was kind of like... Because there is a scam where people say, hey, can you play my game? And then it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna download... Oh, it's a virus! Oh, no. No, but then I'll be like, no, it's real. It's a real game. It's actually a real game. For real. And if you don't trust it, there's also a web version. You don't even need to download it. But you know, the web version could maybe extract information from your browser, but I swear it's not doing that. Wow. Good song. A lot of good songs out here. Booting up Tails OS? What is that? You notice this duck has no eyes? Oh no, it does. It's just really small. Booting up a virtual machine to play the game. We're so close to being done. Welcome, Props on Jack. He's been DMing way more recently. He used to not DM at all, but recently things are happening. He's sliding into the DMs. By DM, I mean Dungeon Master from Tabletop Games. He's been DMing. How is the campaign? The champagne. The Camp of Pain. Camp Pain? You got this game? Yeah, can you play my game? I swear it's a real game that I'm developing. If you want proof, you can check my streams. And then they're like, but what if someone hacked your account? What if they knew that you were working on a game and used that as an opportunity? Because then I would think, oh, it makes sense. They're making a game, so obviously. Unbelievable. They would exploit my trust like this. Crazy. Well, anyway. That's it. I got nothing else to talk about. I'm just gonna walk around this lake for the next 25 minutes. Oh look, there's a meteor right there. You guys see that? It's literally right there. Link.sus. Sus. Since I got nowhere else, where can I talk about this unprompted? I just don't know. When was the last time I got a virus? I don't know. Probably like when I was a kid. It's been a long time. Been watching some Yu-Gi-Oh content creators. Are they good? Get together as four, do some of the worst gimmick gameplay imaginable. Like what? I feel like it's like harder to get a virus nowadays. Cause like I think the built-in Windows antivirus is probably fine. Also, I think part of the reason I haven't gotten a virus is because I don't use Windows. That's probably it. Viruses are like mostly just like a Windows thing. When you think about it. Right, Mac users don't really have viruses to worry about. Linux users, like, you know, not really. Windows, that's where the viruses are at. Haven't seen one since I was a kid, exactly. Also, yeah, nowadays there's not as much reason to, like, download things. Because, like, a lot of things that you would do, you can just do in the browser. And that has, like, sufficient sandboxing. I mean, at least for the stuff I'm doing. People could, you know, maybe if people like browse like anime websites illegally pirating the stuff, I could see that being a thing, but like, I don't do any of that stuff. This is not even like a wink wink nudge nudge like, hey, I totally don't pirate. Like, I actually don't pirate. I don't even like emulate stuff. Don't even watch anime. I just don't get viruses. The common cold, true, that is a virus. They play things like fit this one theme into your deck and then judge rates how well you did. You fight even gimmicky collabs. I've been thinking doing gimmicky collabs as one-off is probably just silly fun. Has anyone had fun recently? It's that way. I'm having fun right now. Some days I'm not even worried about some illegal streaming on some sketchy website in terms of getting a virus. Yeah, like nowadays, it's like you're not even like downloading stuff. Developing anything for the Mac OS is such a massive pain. Is it though? Is it actually? I mean, if you're trying to do like native Mac stuff, maybe. It's mostly about like the developer, like, tooling, probably. If you're developing like a command line thing, it's probably fine. Because it's just like Unix. If you're developing like desktop software, then I could see it being annoying. Especially because of like Apple's licensing stuff. You gotta have a developer license. You gotta like sign your code or whatever. Also, wait, I should figure that out. I should check whether my game can run in Windows without signing, without needing to like indicate it that it's a virus. Because that's a thing on Windows. If you don't have signing for your software, sometimes Windows Defender is just like, hey, this game you made, it's a virus. I'm like, man, now I have to figure this stuff out. Code signing, bro. I just wanted to make a free game for people to play. True, right? I did read some things that were like, if you just use the default Godot exporter, it's not flagged as a virus usually, because, you know, the Godot exporter has its own license or something. Not license, certificate. And then by default it just uses that one. And then since a lot of people are playing games from those, it's just like, you know, it recognizes that it's a legitimate source. What if it made a true emote? It could. What would it? Would it just have the word true and then me like thinking? Is that the one? Is Morgan Freeman the one in the true image? Is that him? True. I do say so true pretty often. I think so. Crossing your arms? True? True. What if I just search for true? Nope. You don't even see the meme. Where is the true meme? I would need to type true meme for this to show up. It's not even... Okay, this is it. I can't believe this is not the first one that shows up. This dog is inbred? Bro. Can't believe they would put the dog in there. True. I'll remember this one. Remember these. It is Morgan Freeman. True. What's the deal with his head? Why does it look like this? Was this edited? This song kind of slaps. Quiet Ocean, royalty-free music. It is quite a vibe. It's got pianos in it. Or maybe one piano. What if it was multiple pianos? What if it was not even really a piano? What if it was just a digital recreation of what a piano might sound like? What if I played the entire game like this? Second person view. Whoa. Oh my god. I was wondering what happened. The now playing is not correct. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm not playing this through Spotify, so this one is wrong. It is actually Quiet Ocean, no percussion. Quiet Ocean, royalty-free music by Paratune. Gotta get my save off my other computer. You could. Or you could simply start a new life. Everyone talks about first person and third person. Where's fourth person? What would fourth person even be, though? There's a cat right there. That's a cat. Good times. The radiant rainbow trouts. Imagine being a two-dimensional being. This is the Flatlands, right? Flatland, is that Flatlander? Theory. A two-dimensional being that cannot understand the concept of 3 dimensions. Imagine the being flip and then rotating in the 3rd dimension. True, we cannot even imagine. 1D being, are you referring to my personality? He's one-dimensional. 1 dimension? What am I saying? What is he even talking about? Me? What is me even saying? Things. What's everyone's favorite dimension? Everyone, your favorite dimension? Length, width, height, time, XYZ, W, time. Time is your favorite dimension. I would say time is pretty good, yeah. Alright, great discussion, everyone. Thank you for participating. That was a Wolfie stream. Wait, I've heard this song. What the heck? Oh, because I've listened to this on their website. This is a nice one. Time dimension. 7 seconds, nothing more to add. I don't even need to wait. I already know that was not even a good discussion topic. There's no nuance to it. Anyone have discussion tips? Sometimes I get recommended those videos on YouTube that are like, here's 5 tips to be a better conversationalist or whatever. I don't actually watch them. I think I clicked on like one. It's always like, you know, show interest in what the person is saying. Make sure to ask questions. Make sure to be genuine in your questions and not ask simply to blah blah blah. Don't ask yes or no questions. Whatever. Thoughts on Offkai? That is a thing that is happening even this weekend. Discuss this, got him so true. You can also just force a discussion and talk about something incredibly mundane. Yeah, but that's mundane though. That's boring. You're like, hey, that weather, huh? Yep, oh man, that weather sure is happening. Whoa, it's been really warm lately. Wow, look at that rain, right? Yeah, so true, so true. The Bay Area Rail Trans. Oh wait, they're having a collab with Doobie 3D. The Bay Area Rapid Transit, because Doobie is a train operator in her lore. They are collabing. A train arcade game tournament, Densha to Go, an extremely difficult training operator simulation game. Yes. That is a game that is also available on the Nintendo Switch in Japanese. Densha to Go. It's been so warm. So warm. Oh, worm. Brooke has gotten sick. No. Because it was raining? The Bart booth is mixing 5 different interests. VTuber watchers, con goers, train enthusiasts, arcade gamers, civil servants, true. And also The Simpsons. Because of Bart. Bart is there. Anyway, that's cool though. Good for Doobie. She do be doing those collabs though. Scooby Dooby Doo. Doobs, the Doob Master. Doobers, Doobert. Doob E. What about Doobs A through D? Doob A. What if someone had Doob A? Doob B. Doob B? Or Doob E? No, those are letters. Your boyfriend got sick from his coworker and naturally caught on to you. No. You should be like, I can't believe that this coworker would do this. Doobie. Scooby Dooby Doo. I don't know, man. Whoa. What about this bush, huh? What do you think about this rock right here? You think this rock... Would you prefer Bochi or this rock? I think I would prefer Bochi. This rock is a bit too plain. Or Dwayne. What about Dwayne? Dwayne the Rock? Dwayne, I knew it. I knew someone would mention Dwayne. You would prefer this rock? Not even Bochi? I guess there's no context. I didn't even say like, oh, maybe like, you know, to hang out with them or like to chat with them or play music. There was nothing even sufficient for you to make an informed decision. Bochi is a bit of pain. Is she? Is it? You did consider all that? This guy hates Bochi. Well, honestly, I feel like maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right. From what I've seen in the anime, she is quite a lot to deal with, true. But you know, you could also just leave her alone and she'll just exist. Bochi, except she becomes a rampant alcoholic in 5 years. Yes. Bochi, except she has Dorito in her hair. But wouldn't she be sad? That doesn't feel right. I mean, it depends on this hypothetical scenario. Would she even know that she was being chosen against this rock? She might not even know. But you would know. You would know that you chose the rock instead of Bochi. And that would weigh heavily on your conscience? Oh, if you leave her alone. Well, I mean, isn't that what she wants, though? Doesn't she want to be left alone? Nijika is definitely the most normal one. What about the red one? What about red Bochi? Bochi or a child of Hammer? What? Hita? No, red Bochi. We all know they don't have real names. It's just yellow Bochi, pink Bochi, which is regular Bochi, older yellow Bochi, blue Bochi, drunk Bochi. That's them. Tsuchinoko. Isn't that the deer? Remember that? Remember Shika Noko Koshtantan? No one talks about that anymore. Yellow Bochi, black Bochi, purple highlight, green Bochi, neon Bochi, orange Bochi, white Bochi, cyan Bochi, flying bochi. I'm just naming adjectives now. 3D blend 3D blender viewport bochi. They even made a bit out of that in the show. Blue bochi. True, I remember that. I don't remember some things, but I remember that one. It's like Shimarin from Eurocamp, but not really. But they're both blue. It is kind of similar in some ways that they are blue and prefer to be alone. But like, not really. But really? No, not really. But kind of, you know? Kind of really. But also not really. I feel like their sense of humor is a bit different. Because I feel like Blue Bochi is a bit more like wacky, you know? Rin is not as wacky. She can be wacky, but not as wacky. She's not as much of like a... I don't know if troll is the right word. But like, you know what I mean, right? It just does things for laughs because it's funny. Rin is a tiny bit wacky around dogs. You know how dogs is and all that. Rin is like a cat. True. So true though. Anyway, I think that I should end my stream because it is about that time. We listen to some good music here. Mischievous, she is quite mischievous. Cosplay, you could totally do that. You could do that right now. You could go to Off-Kai Expo suddenly. You could purchase suddenly a ticket to Off-Kai Exposition. Go there. Put together a cosplay in like the next day. Anyway, that's it. That's it. It is time to end the stream. I'm going to sell these fish. And then I will close the lobby that has no one in it. That's right, the game is dead. There was a Eurocamp panel and there was Shimarin with full camping set in the front row. That's crazy. That's nice though. That's good. I guess I could join. No, you can't. It's over. Anyway, it's gonna be it. I think when I checked the outro screen, I think it was broken. It did not have the list of days on it. I think maybe they changed something on their website. Yeah, there's nothing. What's going on? What if I go on their actual website? Did they change their HTML? National Today. What do they have? Is there literally no day today? Did they? Oh, they changed their HTML. What is this? Did they? International Sushi Day. How do I? Okay, today. National did. Oh, they did change their HTML. Bro, there's only like 4 days today. Oh no, never mind. Okay, they did change their HTML. I need to like change my scraper. Yeah, Sushi Day. It is International Sushi Day. Ooh, National Fishing Day? Wait. I fished on National Fishing Day? Picnic Day, Clean Your Aquarium Day. Lock Check Day. Alright, let's do National Fishing Day, right? Could do that one. I'm gonna need to put a note in my to-do to fix my scraper. Miscellaneous to-do, fix National Today scraper. Alright, who do I raid? today? Derma streaming? Bro. I will send you to a streamer who is perhaps streaming. What if I send you over to ChocoJax, because it is her last stream before Offkai Expo. I will raid ChocoJax. Alright, well that's gonna be it. I will be back on Friday. I mean, technically I don't have work tomorrow, so like I could theoretically stream, but also I kind of don't feel like it. I kind of feel like I could use that time to finish up my game, so maybe I'll be doing that instead of streaming. Now you may be like, oh, but you could work on it on stream. What if you worked on it on stream? No, I will work on it off stream. But I'll be back on Friday. Also, welcome DX Nomad and goodbye. Yeah, stream on Friday. Maybe either game dev or like art. I could continue that fishing sprite thing that I was working on Monday, perhaps. You will be in chat pretending I'm live. Actually, the other day vacuously raided me when I was not live. And I shouted her out. And I said, thanks, hope your stream went well. I was watching the stream even. We had chatters that were in the chat saying things. And someone resubbed. I was there. Yes, National Fishing Day. And that chat history is lost. Anyway, the raid's gone. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.